What's going on, ladies and gents? Rocco Brown here from mygamingjourney.com, and we're back with another 1v1 ranked game. I'm playing against the English this particular game. I am House of Lancaster like usual. If you're new here, I primarily play House of Lancaster. I do play a little Japanese, a little Ottoman, and some English as well, but my primary civ that I'm currently playing is House of Lancaster. So with that being said, let's dive into the game. Let's go over the pros, the cons, some of the things that I did right, some of the things that I definitely need improvement on, because naturally the purpose of these videos is ultimately so that I can improve and get better. And that's where you come into play. Naturally, in the comment section below, definitely feel free to leave your questions, comments, and concerns. Most importantly, just keep things respectful and make sure things stay on topic and on point. Okay, so let's dive into the game and let's see what we have going on from here. So, as always, I rally all 6 of my villagers over to sheep initially. That's kind of my initial start. From there, I then start rallying the next 3 villagers over to gold, and then I rally my remaining villagers up to about 13 villagers over onto my sheep, and I age up from there. So naturally, all I'm doing at this point in time, just trying to get some scouting done, see if I can find some additional sheep, find my opponent, of course, get an idea of what he or she may or may not be doing, and simply go from there, right? So still early in the game. Naturally, I'm not expecting to see much as I'm scouting over here, but hopefully I can get behind my opponent's base, get whatever sheep that he may have left and didn't touch, and basically, make my rounds. So I see my opponent is opening up with deer. Literally, he went over and started yanking all of his deer at this point in time. Looks like he tried to do a little damage to my scout, but definitely kept running and going from there. So nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary. So I'm getting my opponent's sheep behind his base, which is always good. I don't know if he was out on the map scouting. Naturally, I'm sure he did, but I didn't cross paths with his scout at this point in time. And naturally, I saw all of his villagers targeting the deer. So probably something that I definitely could have did as well. Just start immediately open and started taking the deer. But I did not. I started immediately opening up with my sheep. Try to get as many of my opponent's sheep as possible, and here we are still scouting. So naturally, and my idea in this, basically at this point in time, it's pretty much too early to expect anything. Now naturally that can be a misconception with English, because naturally, even though it's not common, someone could have opened with men-at-arms, opened with a barracks, tried to do a little men-at-arm pressure, anything for that matter, right? So probably could have stuck around a little bit longer, went and checked out the front of my opponent's base, maybe down here, potentially, because naturally I saw here, didn't see down here, right? But my thought process was I wasn't expecting him to do anything crazy, so I said, let me go over here and let me start looking for additional sheep on the map. In addition to the additional sheep, let me get an idea of where some of the relics are, let me get an idea of where the sacred sites are, etc., just to see what else is here and present for me. So at this point, I think I'm about to drop these sheep off. I believe I could also still be scouting around, but I believe I'm about to drop these off. And I chose to age up with my Lancaster Castle. That's my primary age up building. Very seldomly do I open with Abbey of Kings, but primarily I feel more comfortable with the Lancaster Castle, right? And I had a decent spawn where I'm able to protect my golden stone, so I was happy about that. So decent amount of sheep that I was able to pick up. What did we end up getting in totality? If I could stop moving, we can see. There we go. Ended up with 11 sheep, so not too bad in the grand scheme of things. Naturally, I still have no eyes on where the sacreds are. I see 2 relics on the mini-map, but I still don't see sacreds at this point in time. And I want to get back over to my opponent and see what he may or may not be doing. So at the time of this recording, I'm still a gold 3. My opponent is a platinum 1. Just to get an idea of the different ranks at this point in time. So I basically, throughout this particular season, I've been jumping between gold 3 up to platinum 1, up, down, but at the time of this recording, I was a gold 3. So aged up, Let me take a quick look just so we can reveal all and see what my opponent is doing. So it looks like he's aging up with Abbey of Kings. No production as of yet. Still yanking up all of his fine deer and going from there. So let's turn this back off and just so you can see what I'm seeing and get an idea of what I'm looking at the time. So I'm plopping down my first manor. I do see he has Abbey of the Kings, and that's literally what he's looking to open with. So got my manor down. Still haven't plopped up any production of my own, which I don't mind. But I do believe that I am soon going to drop down a barracks, I believe. We will see, though. We will see. So first manor is down. I'm still scouting my opponent. That's something that I struggle with. I've definitely gotten a lot better from the time I first initially started playing to where I'm at now, because literally I've just gotten to the point where I will just keep shift clicking around my opponent's base just to see if there are any new structures that go up, any new production buildings, anything of that nature. And that's kind of what I've been doing to eliminate the headache of me forgetting to scout my opponent, right? So that's something I've just been doing a lot more of and trying to get a lot better with. So dropping down the barracks simply because I know there's going to be a king present at some point in time soon. And I'm still just rallying around my opponent's base, as you can see on the mini map. Looks like I'm stagnant at this point in time, but here we are. Not too much idle time, so I'm happy about that. Just trying to get an idea of what he's currently doing. So unfortunately, I'm still out of the loop. I still don't know where any of the sacreds are at. I have located 2 relics. Just playing this map so much, I pretty much have an idea of where the sacreds tend to be, like here, here, and here, right? But visually, I have not seen any of them yet, unfortunately. So I figured, let me rally my spearmen over to the front of the wood line, just because I felt pretty comfortable that with the Lancaster castle and the actual manors, that the king wouldn't get too much damage done in these particular areas. At least that was my thought, right? So I don't remember if he got any damage done or not. But that was my thought process, so I was like, let me rally my spearmen down to the wood, and that can pretty much keep things covered and in control from there, right? So at this point in time, it looks like, I don't think I end up getting him, unfortunately. At this point in time, it looks like I actually took my scout and I started going around and just doing a little bit more searching throughout the map. So I did find 1 sacred, as we see. I finished my manor upgrade, first manor upgrade, so I got that done and out the way, where I'm able to get an additional 3 manors. And at this point in time, I didn't see any production from my opponent, so my thought process was, let me come back over here and start, you know, getting some more manors in, basically in the books. So throwing up a little bit more production just to be safe. I'm throwing up in archery range. Have some villagers queued up. Currently 6 on food, 8 on wood, 9 on gold, and 3 on stone. So apparently I'm not reacting, but something is going on. I don't know if he got any worker kills. Hopefully not. But I can definitively say that he was down in my wood line, so it is good, even though I was not, I don't want to say actively not paying attention, but unfortunately my reflex speed and dealing with raids and things is not always the greatest, right? So I am glad that I did at least rally and have my spearmen down in the wood line, because my thought process is that is where he would probably attack. So 4th manor is down, which is good. I am researching wheelbarrow as well, just because I have some extra gold, and naturally to age up you need gold and you need food. The economic upgrades, which is great, does not cost food, right? Not all economic upgrades, just the ones that are centered around the meal. So horticulture, gold and wood, wheelbarrow gold and wood. So being that I had already exceeded the 600 gold that I needed, I just decided to grab wheelbarrow. I'm probably going to grab horticulture as well, and then I'm just waiting to get that at 1200 food, so I could age up and go to age 3. So see that he was trying to make his rounds over here and cause a little damage. I believe which I was happy about, I did make my way and get away from that wood line because I did see him coming, and now I'm just pumping out some archers of my own, waiting for him to potentially get in range. And I believe I was smart enough to, yeah, threw them in there, which was good. And now want to do my own little damage here. So he had more and more coming. Happy that I was able to, you know, at least do something decent enough. I'm like, I don't want y'all fighting. Go inside. Didn't mean to overreact and start pulling everyone, and now I have villagers bunched up in places that they should not be. Unfortunately. So what I should have did here, now quick little pause. Here's what I should have did, right? I'm already at 1,161 gold. I have 10 on gold. I should have removed at least 5, 6, even maybe 7 at this point, dropped that gold off and immediately put them on food and just had those remaining 3 workers on gold so I can start my age up process, because I should have already been started my age up process, to say the least. You know what I mean? So just my quick little thought process right then and there, just to re-macro and get things in order. Another thing I was struggling with, I'm losing out on wood, and if I don't remember if my opponent had continued producing archers or not, but if he did, here I am not able to continue to keep up with my own archer production because I'm low on wood, high on gold, decent on food, but don't have the wood that I need to actually produce any more archery ranges, let alone actually produce any more archers at this point in time, right? So my opponent ages up, as he should. I'm still super far behind, unfortunately. I'm grabbing economic upgrades because at that point in time, I thought that he was going to commit. So I'm thinking that with the amount of archers that he came over with, I'm thinking that he was going to end up with battering rams, etc., etc. That was my thought process. That did not end up taking place, so that was the reason I ended up getting economic upgrades, because I figured that I would be fighting in feudal for a little bit longer than I originally intended to fight in feudal for, right? So that's what's happening. I'm like, well, let me come over here and see if I can start getting what's it called done, and then here I am about to lose what's it called, my scout, unfortunately. Like it didn't happen, so that's a plus. Looks like he went down there looking for villagers, but not too bad, worked out well. So here I am about a minute behind on the age up process. I end up aging up with King's College because I'm thinking the upgrades would come in handy, because I'm thinking that we're going to be in the game for quite a bit. But with me already being late, a white tower might have been a better bet, potentially. But just my thought process was, you know, the upgrades from the King's College will serve me a little bit better, right? So I'm like, all right, let me start plopping down some more production. I'm already behind from an age up standpoint. Plopping down more manors, so I'm going up from 5 out of 6. Age up done, and I'm like, okay, let's start popping out, get the rest of my economic upgrades. Let's get some upgrades in general. So I'm getting horticulture, getting my veterans up to H2, or veterancy, I should say. Billman for spearman technology, survival techniques, and then upgrading my spearman as well, right? So naturally, with him being, and this is where I was like, okay, this is where we might run into a problem, because now he wants to get aggressive, and I see men-at-arms there. I don't have what I need as of yet to try to take that fight. So I'm like, I gotta go find food elsewhere and see what I can get done. So I just trashed that. And I'm like, okay, now what am I doing for food? What at this point in time am I doing for food? So I'm sitting there on idle villagers that I don't need. And here's the problem, y'all. Another big issue. So I just spunt this wood. I have idle villagers. I just spunt this wood on a mill and some farms. When I still have all of this nice food sitting here. Alright, so a waste of idle villager time, just a waste of things in total that I should have did a lot better, to say the least, right? And then naturally there is berry bushes down here. So I think at this point in time I'm still looking for food when I have food under my town center that I don't even realize that I have. Unfortunately. So now I'm trying to rush and grab some more upgrades. Still idle villagers that are sitting here not doing anything. Okay, but upgrades are coming out. Army size is still lacking. I need to be producing units, like a lot of units. I'm not doing so. My opponent, on the other hand, let me take a quick gander, y'all, just to see what he's working with. So he's already across the map. Not a huge army, but definitely bigger than what I have. Men-at-arms in there, archers, some spearmen, and the king, right? In addition to that, upgrade-wise, he's doing pretty similar to what I'm doing. Nothing crazy. Decent economy, because naturally English can pump out farms like no tomorrow. King's Palace is out. Great for him. He's grabbing relics, I assume, if he started getting them as of yet. But production-wise, nothing crazy, right? Nothing too crazy. 1 barracks, 1 archery range, 2 stables, and yes, he is still grabbing relics, right? So that's where we're at. That's where he's at. Let me come over here and go back to closing that up. So I'm like, all right, Rock, we got to do better, right? We got to do better. So right now I'm at 6 out of 6 manners. I finally got my units away from, where's it at? Got my boys away from, and I'm like, oh, I can't take that fight. He's cooking. Like, he's cooking. There's nothing I can do there. So finally got my boys back to getting food over here, which is good. And I'm like, I cannot fight him at this point in time. Don't know why I'm trying. He has too much. But I am starting to pump out units, as we can see. Crossbowmen, yeomen or archers, spearmen. Not too many Earl's Guards, but upgrades are coming left and right. What did he put there? Oh, that's right. That's the king. That's the king, ladies and gents. I was like, what is healing him up? I couldn't even see what it was at that point. So I'm trying to build my monastery at this point in time. Still producing units, just trying to get up my own little ball. Point in time, I'm like, I need more gold. So trying to secure my gold. Seen that he was trying to flank around, so I'm like, no, let's put it into that really quickly. Get them out the way. So got that done. As far as stopping that particular flank around, which was good. A little something in my favor. Nothing too crazy, but upgrades, I'm still cranking those out. I am supply blocked, unfortunately. My opponent's at 105 with 68 villagers. I'm at 107 with 54 villagers. Gotta do better, y'all. Don't be like me. Be better. Production-wise, did I add in any more production? Add in another barrack, so I'm at 5 archery ranges, 3 barracks, still 1 blacksmith. Okay, so still just trying to get what I need to potentially take this fight, right? My thought process was, okay, now that I have some demi-lancers out on the map, let me go out here and let me try to do some raiding and just see what I can get done. I have 16 idle villagers, y'all. 16. I still want to get out here and literally secure this deer, but no dice. I was trying to get a pick off real quick. Was able to get something slight. So I'm like, all right, I got to get these guys out the way because he's trying to swing inside. Drop some more farms down because God knows I need it. So slowly, and this is something else that I struggle so much with, y'all. Just keeping the monk / the priest / the imam, whatever you want to call it, depending on what civ you play with my army, right? That is the hardest thing for me. I'm trying to do a little bit of raiding of my own. Few workers down, which was nice. Nothing crazy, so I'm like, let me get in, get out. The plan of action, y'all. So, dropping down some more farms. Good. Still would like to secure my deer, but no dice. And unfortunately, I'm not making any military. Right? I am upgrading to get more manners in my life, which is a plus. But beyond that, nothing special. So now I'm still raiding around, just trying to see if there's anything else on the map accessible for me to do any sort of damage. Put a wall down, which was good. Happy about that. Don't remember how much good it did for me, but that is where I saw those knights running from. So that is what ended up taking place there. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, all right, I'm in a favorable position. I'm not seeing the rest of his units. A few little pickups. What do we got? Like, all right, archers and things are on this end. He pulled back his army, so I must be in a favorable predicament and position. I was able to get that, catapult out of the way, which was I was thrilled about. Which was a good thing. And I just have monks just randomly sitting around, not with the army, y'all. So, that's kind of what we have going on at this point in time. It looks like farm-wise, I'm up to about 21 farms. Good. Is everything being made use of? No, it looks like one's not being made use of here, but it is what it is. So I'm at least at gathering some food in that regard. Manners do help for food and wood production. And once I hit 4, naturally, can start kicking things into high grade and high gear, being able to add some cash onto the mix for the food, the wood, and the cash. But as of right now, I'm still at age 3. But 64 villagers, my opponent, 79 villagers. Crazy business. What is his 76 military? What's my military looking like? 75. So similar military size, but he has siege in the mix. I don't have siege at this point in time, and I'm still not producing any more military. This is a problem. I should, with all this wood that I have as well, I should have more. So I'm like, oh Lord, he has a lot. And look who's still not with the army, right? Nobody's with the army. So now I'm like, it's about to be a problem. So I'm still sitting at production-wise, 5 archery ranges, 3 barracks. I dropped down the market because I'm like, now I can at least start selling things. Should have did this a lot sooner. So I'm like, all right, do we risk trying to go up to 4 right now, or do I start pumping out more units? Because I need units. I just lost a big fight, lost a lot of my army, but we're going to try to chance it and see what I can get done from here, right? So at this point in time, I think I start selling and buying stuff. And I think that's what actually, not even I think, that's what actually allowed me to even go to 4. Because I remember I was sitting on a ton of resources. Should have been age 4 years ago, right? My opponent's been age 4 for God knows how long. I need to get age 4, and I'm in a very bad predicament. So I have no business even trying to be active and move out on the map, but I am trying to get up here to just secure a little bit more of this gold, get some eyes on what, and some stone, just get some eyes on what's going on in these different places. So I hit my age up, great. This was a fight that I should not have taken, yeah, at all. Like, there was nothing good about what I just did here, in the least bit. In the least bit, nothing good about what I did here. These bad boys should have been in the mix the entire time, right? And they were not. So I'm thinking now that I have my Wyndham Palace up, I'm hoping that I can start swarming and getting things done. Well, I saved them. I hope I saved them. Maybe not. So now I'm just streamlining units, y'all. Trying to, right? Unfortunately, I still have not grabbed my Scuttich. Then this will basically give me the upgrade that would allow me to start, getting gold on my different manors. I have not gotten that yet, unfortunately. I need it, but I don't have it. So my idea was like, all right, if I could get university up, I could start getting incendiary arrows. My yeomen are really, kicking the high gear and go from there. But I don't think he gave me the opportunity to even make that happen. And I kept taking premature fights with my freaking monks not present in the battle. So here we are. I'm getting some stone. I start actually rallying. I'm looking. I don't know if I started doing it yet, but I know the plan was to start actually getting some, what's it called, caravans, right? And I'm like, why is this villager out there, y'all? Kicking, like, making me so mad. Like, why is he there? So incendiary arrows. I'm just trying to pick off little units here and there, nothing too crazy, but just trying to do what I can in the mix. And I'm like, why are my horses not in the mix, y'all? And then I was like, oh, it gets worse. So at this point in time, I see him trying to drop a castle over here. And I'm like, that's really not going to help my cause at all. Rain down a little something. So at this point in time, I should have pulled them back, right? Didn't win an amazing battle, but I survived. And I should have, just survived with a few more of them, to say the least. So this I had all of them in the battle the entire time, my monks, I would have been okay. Over the course of this game, I've had probably 6 or 7 monks. that were stagnant, that were nowhere to be found. Production, another thing. I still am limited on production. Incendiary arrows, amazing. I'm pretty sure at this point in time, this is where he was sensing blood, y'all, because I'm like, I can't keep this up. He's just streamlining. Trying to pop out some traders really quickly just to get the econ. And this is just where things go bad, from bad to worse, because I don't have the units to stop any of this, right? And there lies the problem. Nice little Roboquin is out, which starts cooking your boy. Yet again, me trying to streamline units, but just not enough. A little bit too late. And this is kind of how things, you know, just take a turn for the worst, to say the least. So, all in all, I end up taking this L. I end up surrendering out the next couple of seconds. And it was not my best performance, right, all in all, but it wasn't my worst either, right? Like, I was happy. I won't say I was happy with the way I played this, but I felt moderately good. And the reason being is because certain things that may be trivial to you, it's big to me, right? Number one, I continued to make workers throughout the entire game, so I was pleased about that. Made my workers. I got behind. I should have aged up a lot sooner. But even though I was making my workers, my macro did fall and slip in different areas. So going back to what we discussed earlier, I had a ton of workers on gold when I probably should have dropped a lot of them off and put them on food just to help me age up a lot quicker. At a crucial time when I needed to age up. I was probably 3 minutes behind my opponent aging up to age 3. Additionally, I felt like I continued to scout, which was a good. So that's another. So let's start with the pros, right? Number one, I continued to make workers, right? I'm happy about that. Number two, I continued to scout my opponent. I'll say up until at least the 15-20 minute mark, right? After around that time frame, I got so caught up of being in my base and consumed in my base that I didn't get out on the map and see what my opponent was doing around the map as well as within his base. And I'm not counting the time where I took my horses to raid and I got about 4 or 5 worker kills, which was good, but that's not necessarily scouting, right? Like, I got inside, I got out, I left, and then even then I wasn't active again from there, you know, being on my opponent's side of the map. What else? Another pro, I would say that upgrade-wise, I always tend to do pretty well with my upgrades. So that's not the end of the world, right? I do pretty decently when it comes to pumping those out and staying ahead of my opponent, or at least on par with my opponent. So that's another thing that I did good, right? And then I would say additionally, what I did decent, I believe when I was taking different fights, this isn't the entire scope of the game, but I was doing a pretty good job of taking decent fights where I was dwindling my opponent's army and leaving, right? So I would say that those are the pros and the things that I did well. Now let's dive into the cons. Number one for me would be when I went and I built the mill and I started building farms, but I had about 15 sheep underneath my town center. So I wasted a lot of wood that could have been put towards production, right, when I still had food available to me. Number one. Number two would be along those same lines of idle villagers, right? That's something I still struggle with when raids happen. Sometimes I overreact. Sometimes I'll get my villagers in town centers, outposts, etc. Get them where they're supposed to be. But then when all the smoke clears, I don't get them out and back to work like they're supposed to be, doing things. So that's a headache that I'm still working on trying to rectify. Another thing that would be a con would be my monks. I do this so much, y'all, and I'm trying to get better. It's a headache, but I'll make my monks, and then I won't have the monks with the army. And that's a headache because, they're not, you can't really hotkey them, right? Like some civs, the monks, the imams, the priests, whatever they are, quote unquote, they fall under certain hotkeys because they fall into certain categories. So, like for example, like a warrior monk, I believe, with Shushi, Chinese, etc., are considered infantry. So when you have, we'll just say it hotkey for infantry, that is a persistent hotkey that goes from game to game. It's very easy to select your monks when they fall in that particular category, or we'll say like um the Rus they're not dervish, but the Rus will call them priests, or even the Ayyabids and the Abbasid priests, because I know they're on horseback. They're considered cavalry units. So when you have a persistent cavalry hotkey, you can select them and just move everyone with the army. Not all civs have that luxury, so there will be times where I make the priests and then they're not with the army like I intend them to be. So that's a headache, right? What else? Another con is having fights on my side of the map. If at all possible, I like to fight on my opponent's side of the map or in the middle of the map. I don't want it to be near my base. So my opponent basically had me boxed in because we're fighting near my base, which is never a good thing. So that's another con, right? And then last but not least, I would say the proper macro or remacro, right? That's a headache in and of itself. So didn't have that situated like I should have, unfortunately, but it is what it is, right? So those are the different pros, cons, things that I would take away for this particular game, things that I need to work on, things that I did, decently well or relatively well. And that's what we'll try to take into account for the next game in the next video. Okay? With that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. Feel free to like, follow, share, subscribe, get notified every time I post a new video. Naturally, I also live stream. So if you check out the mygamingjourney.com, you can watch the live stream right on the website. Check out in the description tab below as well. You'll see the links to all of the respective places that I would like you to check out, or if in your free time, if you would like to check them out, you're more than welcome to do so. I'm currently streaming on mygamingjourney.com. You can also find me on Twitch and Kick currently. Definitely feel free to check me out. You'll see once you click on the link, you'll be able to check out the schedule of when I'm going live. Currently, I'm going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Yet again, head over to the respective links. You'll be able to see the time frame because your time zone may be different from my time zone, right? In addition to that, any questions, comments, or concerns that you have, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Definitely, as always, I have no problem with the feedback. I have no problem with the criticism. Any tips, tricks, feedback that you may have, feel free to send it. Just make sure everything remains respectful and make sure everything remains on topic. Okay? Until next time, ladies and gents, it's a pleasure as always, and God willingly, we can do this again another time. Everybody take care.